Good morning, everybody. I'm Michelle Reese-Johnson with the AmeriEstate Legal Plan. I hope you're all having a wonderful morning. It's gorgeous here in Southern California. And what a perfect day to talk about my favorite subject, AmeriEstate Legal Plan and estate planning. Today, the subject is going to be simple steps to unlocking business roadblocks and increasing revenues. And we have invited one of our longtime business partners, Troy Folk, who's been working with AmeriEstate for over 18 years now. And I believe when we met Troy, he was just starting out in the financial planning world and with his tax practice as well. We thought it would be a really good idea for those of you who are thinking about adding estate planning onto your practice to actually interview one of our top agents who is consistently doing estate planning for his clients and working with AmeriEstate. And so I wanted him to share with you some of his tips and tricks on why estate planning has been such a value add to him over these years. So Troy, what made you decide to add estate planning to your financial planning and tax services?
Good morning, Michelle. Thanks for having me on today. You know, it was kind of a no-brainer when you start doing the research and realizing the probate cost to clients here in California. That was the first place I went, is, hey, how can I benefit my clients? And then on a little bit more of a personal selfish note is how can I make money doing this at the same time? So estate planning, wealth management, tax planning, that's all what I do. And they complement each other. First off, I'm doing right by the client. I'm providing a benefit and covering risk for them. And then secondly, I'm getting paid to do it. So it was just a no-brainer to make sure all things work together. I'm a CFP. If I want to hold myself out as a CFP, or any substantial financial advisor should be having these discussions with their clients.
Excellent. Thanks, Troy. So why did you decide to work with an AmeriEstate model versus going directly or sending your clients directly to an attorney to get their estate planning done?
It was really simple for me. It gave me more control. I had greater feedback. I could follow the process along the way without going, hey, what's going on? Or, bugging an attorney. Costs were more reasonable for my clients. I've seen trusts out there that are $5,000 to $10,000, and AmeriEstate, we can usually keep them under $2,000. The documents are substantially, they're just beautiful documents, not just in substance, but in their presentation. So, and just we'll get off topic just a hair. There you go. This I have a sample trust, guys. If you don't have one, get one. At $50 or whatever AmeriEstate charges for them. This is what I show my clients, and to say, hey, this is what we're going to do, and talk to them about their estate plan, and then show them what they get. Most people are used to seeing, this is something I'm working on right now. Most people are used to seeing something like this. They're stapled on a blue kind of folder thing. And then when they see what AmeriEstate puts together for them, they go, holy cow, that's awesome. Look at everything we get.
Yeah, I think it's, people are very visual. So by having a sample trust, if you are meeting with clients in their office, or even if you're Zooming with them, you can show them what they're going to receive, because people really don't know what to expect. And especially when they're spending a couple $1,000, most of them are spending more than that if they're going directly to an attorney. Having that visual is really, really good. But what's the most important thing is what's inside that portfolio is what really matters. But to package it nicely so you can present it to a client, they're very, very grateful, and they love the book because on the side of it, it says estate plan, and it's, when the time comes, people need to know where's that book, and so it's very easy to find when you have it in the house for your kids and loved ones if something should happen to you.
Yeah, and even beyond that, Michelle, I don't have to worry that you guys are going to try to send my client to another advisor. Hey, he's doing this for you. Oh my gosh, you should talk to this guy. Attorneys, unless you have a ridiculously good relationship with an attorney, and I don't know who has a ridiculously good relationship with an individual attorney out there, that's always a concern. This creates me being the primary person of interest, always having those touch points with AmeriEstate being my back office. They support me every step of the way.
Excellent. Thank you, Troy. So I know that many agents are afraid to talk about estate planning to their clients because I think the biggest reason is they're not comfortable with the subject matter and they don't really know how to start that conversation. Can you tell us a little bit about your process when you meet with a client and what goes into getting an application over to AmeriEstate, just in a quick, just in your words?
In a quick way. I love talking about you guys, Michelle, so I don't know how quick I can be, but first thing I'll tell you is you don't have to be an expert at this, guys. You really don't. Just educate yourself enough that you can have the conversation. For me, AmeriEstate's the experts. Let them be the experts. But for me, I try to kind of bring it up organically in the conversation, whether it's a discovery call or a new prospect. Inevitably, throughout the conversation, it's, are you married? Great. Do you have children? How old are your children? Oh, they're under 18. I should be thinking about a will for this couple if they don't already have one. Oh, we've got a new house, or we've got a house. Oh, you just refinanced, is it in your trust? You don't have a trust? Holy cow. This should be something we should talk about, and it's great. And I tell clients this, hey, I can make you money, I can save you money, but if I can't protect your money, it's a big deal here in California. So that's the first thing we work on. We kind of bump this up the priority list to make sure they're protected first and foremost. And if you can't generate it organically in a conversation, don't care what you say. At the end of the conversation, hey, by the way, do you have an estate plan? We probably ought to get that reviewed, even if you do. So start. That's all I can tell you guys. Start incorporating it. Start asking these questions, because if you're not, another advisor is.
Excellent point. The bottom line is ask the question, do you have an estate plan? And you will be surprised what people will tell you. I've been thinking about that. Well, can you help me with that? Because most of the time I find that clients are very intimidated by attorneys and they don't know who to call, who to trust, and they're afraid to actually walk into that high-priced, high-rise office with the big leather chairs because they don't know what they're gonna get charged by the time they walk out. So what I find is valuable, and I think you would agree, is the clients know exactly what they're getting up front and what they're paying. There's no hourly fees. There's no, costs that are going to pop up on them. We're available for them to make those updates and changes that they need to through the membership in our legal plan, and that's how we're structured.
Yeah, no gotchas at all here. I mean, you guys kind of set the price. Us as advisors set the price. And then, we walk through the process. We don't have to, we know there's a recommended time frame, and I tell all my clients 7 to 8 weeks, give or take. I see the process every week. I get updates on the process every week. They're fed to me every Thursday night. I get updates on all my open cases, so I'm not chasing an attorney or worrying about, oh my gosh, is this in process or what's going on here? And are the costs actually what I suggested to the client they're going to be? No, it's having that control, having those known things answered ahead of time so the client's comfortable. They're not going, holy cow, what kind of check do we have to write today?
Right. So it's a very confident building process because the clients know they can trust you. What you say is true and what is going to happen. And they know exactly what they're getting into and how much they're going to pay. Can you share with us a little bit about how offering estate planning services and working with AmeriEstate has helped you build your practice and earn revenue? Give us a story, maybe you can share with us.
That's very simple, Michelle. I'm a CFP and an EA, so a financial professional and tax professional. And I consider those two separate businesses. Then adding the estate planning in, it's a third business, and they feed each other. If I've got a prospect that maybe only needs an estate plan through discovery, well, maybe they've got a couple accounts that need managed or aren't being managed properly. Oh my gosh, taxes, let's take a look at your taxes, and vice versa. I've had tax clients that I've fed to my estate planning, wealth management to taxes to estate planning. Just bringing in, here's a great story. So I brought in an estate planning client. They were a friend of a client, and they said, oh, we just need the trust. Well, throughout the process come to discover that, $700,000-800,000 worth of managed money that they were unhappy with their advisor. So, we spend time together. We spend hours together sometimes, especially through the delivery process, building the relationship. Next thing you know, they go, "Hey, Troy, can you look at our accounts for us?" You bet. Of course, I'd be happy to look at your accounts. So started with their trust, turned into asset management, and I'm doing their tax returns every year because I told them I could save them taxes by reallocating their portfolios. Now I'm showing them I can save them taxes. So all three revenue generators for me.
That's excellent. And what about the other business you get just from people knowing that you can help them with their estate plan? Share with us how many estate plans you end up doing for just one person who comes in, or a husband and wife oftentimes. How does that work?
So I've tried to develop over the years. Part of my conversation is the discovery process, and that's every advisor's conversation is, hey, what's going on? What do they have? Where is it? Debt, income, assets, that type of thing. When it's estate planning, I go further. Hey, if I'm sitting here with a 50 or 60-year-old, are your parents still alive? Oh my gosh, do they have an estate plan? Oftentimes they don't. So my clients are going to end up in a probate issue. Well, let's avoid that. Oh, with your daughter, she just got married, husband, they bought a house. Good grief. Do they have an estate plan? Let's talk about that. I've had ex-spouses pay for their ex-spouse's estate plan because they were the only ones there and they were going to inherit the $600,000 condo. So divorcees will pay for it. Parents will pay for their children. I've had children pay for their parents. So it really starts to broaden the opportunities just by asking some questions, by generating those conversations and trying to make sure, again, that we don't have a probate challenge. It's expensive and it's time consuming here in California. And that's what I want to try to avoid for my clients. Absolutely.
We're in California and so are you, but AmeriEstate, as you know, and you've also have done business with us with clients that have moved to Texas, Tennessee, we're in Virginia, we're in Maryland, we're in Arizona. And we're looking to get in a few more states as we progress and grow. And so that's been helpful for you too. So I think one of the things about AmeriEstate is, as long as your clients live in the states that we are in, they can be anywhere in the states that we are in, and we can provide the estate planning for them. They don't have to go anywhere. And I think with COVID and just what's been going on, a lot of people are so happy to know that they don't have to go anywhere to complete their estate plan. And oftentimes I think that you might even Zoom with your clients if they're somewhere in another area in the state or a different state, that you can get them started right over the phone and get the application over to AmeriEstate. And it's super simple. We can even deliver that trust for your clients because our notaries are all over the place. And I know you have utilized that several times.
I have, and I do, and I have. So Arizona, Tennessee, just at Texas, like you mentioned, when those clients have a need, whether it's them, a new client or family members, like I discussed, yeah, I get on the phone, we do a Zoom. Hey, I walk through everything with them virtually. They get everything back to me. I bring it to you guys. You guys do a great job delivering. So I do all the deliveries here, and we can talk about that a little bit deeper here in a minute. But out of state, I fly to my clients, but not maybe as their trust come ready. So you guys do the deliveries, the notaries, and I have faith that you're going to do it right. I know afterwards I talk to my clients and go, hey, how did it go? They go, it was great. It was simple. They explained everything to us, got all the notaries and signatures done, and we're good.
Right. Thank you. Yes. And one of the big things I know for you as a financial advisor is you want to make sure that your clients are safe and nobody else is going to talk to them about any other services, whether it be financial planning, insurance products, whatever, because that's not what AmeriEstate does. Can you tell us about your comfort level with that?
100%. I mean, that's the simplest way to explain it, Michelle. My comfort level, knowing that you guys aren't going to try to take my client or send them elsewhere, is at 100%. Whereas we've all had experiences that, oh my gosh, this other advisor gives me more referrals. I should give him some referrals back, an attorney or a CPA or something like that. You just never know. And that's by using you guys. I know I take that out of the equation.
That's perfect. Yes, because that's what our goal is, to be an advocate for that advisor, for our business partners, that they're comfortable bringing their clients to a place where they know their clients are not going to be marketed to for anything else. We're here to support them and their clients when the changes of life come in. Somebody passes away. Can you tell us a little bit about the other services that you have used with AmeriEstate, not just setting up somebody's trust, but what other things have you done with AmeriEstate? Can you share with that? Because I know you've had people pass away. And
I have, and I've probably used every service you guys have available, quite frankly. Everything from simple deed prep. So if I've got a client, they buy a house or refinanced, and we know finance companies don't do a great job of putting their homes back in the trust. So deed prep, elder estate planning. So I've had a few clients that have had special needs. Special needs trust is additional one.
Incapacity planning.
Yeah, incapacity planning. When clients have passed, so married couple, one client's passed, of course, I fall right back to you guys to make sure that we go to the county, do the appropriate deed prep, affidavit of death, all the updates for the wills, the power of attorneys, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, there's not much I can think that you guys haven't helped with.
Thanks. Yes. I believe you've also done irrevocable life insurance trusts. You've done LLCs and corporations, which AmeriEstate also does. So a lot of clients have tons of properties right now, and they need some protection around those. So LLCs are a really nice fit for some asset protection. Or you come across clients that have sole proprietorships, and they really should incorporate or put that into an LLC for protection. So we're that place for you to bring your clients and help with those as well.
Yeah, so all the advanced services you guys have, and I didn't even think of those, Michelle. You're absolutely correct. The LLCs, the ILITs, we've got some very high net worth clients. So we've done the ILITs, trying to protect some of their assets should the estate, well, we know the estate threshold is going to come down in 2025, but Biden administration is also pushing it even sooner. So yeah, we've done all that with you guys, and you guys, it's super simple. AmeriEstate walks you through every step of the way and make sure you're educated about the process and you're doing right by the client.
Right. Thank you, Troy. Now, just to reiterate another point, when you see maybe a client for the first time and you're going through your discovery process, I know you always ask the question, do you have an estate plan? When the clients tell you, I already have my trust, I'm good there. How do you respond to that for clients who have existing trusts that come to you?
Oh, I get excited. At least they've taken some steps, and I tell them, absolutely wonderful. I love that. But, the first thing I ask is the date. Hey, how old is this trust? Is it a couple years old, or is it 20, 30 years old? And I see those all the time. Just like the one I just showed you a minute ago is 1998. And I've, at AmeriEstate, you guys have educated me enough. I know what to look for. So I know, hey, great. I love that you've been proactive, done an estate plan, bring it in. First off, do you have all the documents? So you have your trust, your wills, your power of attorney for asset management, your advanced healthcare directive. Oftentimes I'll find them missing one or multiple documents. What's the date on them? Is it pre-2010? Maybe we should be looking to see if this is a marital AB trust and if that's still relevant for your situation today. And that becomes a tax, really, it's more involved than we're talking about today, but something to think about. If it's pre-2003-ish, that was HIPAA. I already know that they need a restatement of all the documents because that was pre-HIPAA, and all the language changed. We no longer have a power of attorney for healthcare. It's the advanced healthcare directive just because of HIPAA. Oftentimes, even them older ones, I'll be reading through it sometimes with the client. Hey, who's your successor trustee, John? Oh, that's my older brother, but our kids are 28 and 29 now. And we just figured they'd do it. Well, let's get it updated so they actually do it. So lots of things to look for, and guys, work with AmeriEstate. They'll coach you and walk you through. And if you don't know or don't want to know, you can send it to AmeriEstate. I think there's a small charge for a full trust review, but they'll make you the expert upon the return of that and go, hey, here are the things that you should be talking to your client about, and this is why we should be changing this, or leave it as is.
Excellent. Yes, we do a lot of trust reviews, and I know oftentimes you'll just send a copy of the trust to us, and we can look through it very quickly at no charge and see exactly what's going on with that trust, and then get back to you with some recommendations to bring up to your client and see if they want to move forward with either a formal trust review with the attorney, or if they want to just go ahead and restate it, since it's, there's many reasons to restate a trust. It's super old. It's not valid or relevant to their lives today. They've had, a daughter get married, or they bought property that they haven't put in the trust. There's so much going on. People think, I've done a trust, it's up in the shelf, I'm good for the rest of my life. So you, as a financial advisor, are always so proactive about, let's bring that get the dust off of that thing and open it up today. I'm here to help you. So they start looking at you. They look at you because you're their advisor. You are here to advise them and tell them what they need to do. That's why you're their advisor, and they've chosen you.
Exactly. It's just one more level to build a relationship, build that level of trust, become their advisor in a very comprehensive manner.
Yeah, that's all good stuff. Over AmeriEstate, for those of you who are here, maybe you know us, you're working with us, maybe you're here to get a little refresher on why you should reconsider if you haven't done any business with us. There's so many reasons to just get on here and learn a little bit. But one of the things I wanted you all to know is AmeriEstate's been serving middle America, even high net worth individuals. We got a lot of those too, for over 23 years now. And we have serviced about 45,000 families with their estate plans. We are probably one of the largest providers of estate planning services in the nation. So we have a lot of experience. And another thing to know about is we have attorneys that will always be here, because if one passes away or decides to retire, we can pick up where that attorney left off, because we have other attorneys that work with our clients in our estate plans. So I'm thinking you probably see this as well, Troy, is people are like, I can't get a hold of my attorney anymore. He's not in the business. I need to make changes. What do I do? And AmeriEstate can just pick right up where that attorney left off and bring them into our fold and service their estate. And they're just so happy to know that there's a place that's not going to retire or go out of business, because we have at least 30 people that work here in the office. We have attorneys all over the states we're in, and they provide the consultations to the clients over the phone. That is our model. And I think that's worked out pretty well. What do you think, doing the attorney consult on the phone? Troy? Yeah,
I wholeheartedly agree. I have had several clients that have come to me, they had a good trust, but they want to make a change, and the first thing I tell them, well, let's get in touch with your attorney, because he was the one that originally did the document. So if it's just a simple amendment, go through him, whatever. Sometimes they're just not around anymore. They're a little bit older client. They were dealing with an older attorney that's retired or passed. I've had that happen as well. So my clients with AmeriEstate, it's a no-brainer. I don't even have to think about it. Hey, we're going to go right back to AmeriEstate, and they're going to take care of us. Those clients that have had attorneys that passed, I just bring them over to AmeriEstate and start the process. So yeah, very, very happy that knowing there's a succession plan in place, for lack of a better term. You guys will be around. You guys will be around, hopefully as long, if not longer than I'll be around, because I deal with younger clients as well. And you'll be there to service them all the way. And I don't have to worry about my client getting an invoice, a quarter hour, half hour. Here's an email, here's a phone call. Oh my gosh, let's avoid that.
Yeah, let's avoid that. So I'm glad that you've been with us for 18 years. I've gotten to know you over those years, and I can see all the business that you have done with us over the years. And not only does estate planning, in my opinion, really keep that client close to you, and they're not going out to a seminar to learn about an estate plan, because you've already done that part. Estate planning is very popular right now. So I would say my words of wisdom for anybody who's watching this is, don't let your clients go to one of those seminars, because they will become somebody else's client. Bring up the question. as soon as you can. Make sure that client is protected with estate plan because they're thinking about it. Everyone is thinking about estate planning right now.
No, that's entirely true, Michelle. I'm sorry. Even on new clients, when we talk about estate plan, it's like you said earlier, oh my, yeah, we've been thinking about it. It's really easy for them to procrastinate on it. Using AmeriEstate makes it really easy to move forward. So most of you advisors, you probably got calls at the beginning of the year about Prop 19. Hey, I've got a couple of rentals. What do I do to protect them? And now you're probably getting calls based on some of the new legislation that they're pushing through, looking to reduce the estate tax threshold, looking to maybe possibly remove step up a basis. So you're starting to already think about these, or at least you're getting calls about them. So yeah, this is where you should be talking to your clients. And again, you don't have to be the expert to talk to them. Just educate yourself enough that you know how to deal with AmeriEstate. Let AmeriEstate be the experts. Let them show you as the expert with all their information they'll give you back for each and every client that you get over to them.
Excellent. Yes. So can you tell our folks that are watching why AmeriEstate works, or not why, but because you can get compensated for signing up a member to do a legal plan. And normally, if you're going to send that client directly to an attorney, the best you can hope for is maybe that attorney will send you a referral to do some financial planning.
Yeah, I don't know about the rest of you guys. I could count on less than one hand the amount of referrals I've got from independent attorneys. So, having that level of control, knowing that I can send them to AmeriEstate, they're going to take care of my client. That's all important. The client's not chasing around everywhere. One client, and I can make money on it. Oh my gosh, yeah, I've never had an attorney pay me, but by doing this using AmeriEstate as my back office is kind of what I consider them, because I lean on them a lot. I get paid. Oh my gosh, so I'm taking care of my client. I have control as much as possible over the overall situation, time frame, management, and I get paid on all this, and I'm doing right by the client. Holy cow, that's like a win-win-win.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. I love the way that how you have, you've seen the light. You saw it a long time ago, but a lot of people, agents aren't just quite clear how it works with us. So another point I wanted to make was, because our documents are so professionally done, they are, exactly what your clients are getting all the time. Like if you have a client who's up in Northern California, and half the time people rack their brains like, I got to find an attorney for my client who lives up in San Francisco. So you go online, you find an attorney, and that attorney has a totally different model. Their documents look like what Troy was showing you. They're not set up like AmeriEstate is.
Yeah, they end up with this.
The marketing, the presentation, the show, and the quality. So it's consistent across the board in every state. You know exactly what your clients are getting, what type of trust they're getting, and AmeriEstate is communicating with you once a week to give you a report on, hey, I want to let you know this client is in this stage of production, or hey, I want to let you know the client has just had their attorney consultation. Hey, I want to let you know your client's trust has been proved. Hey, I want to let you know that we are now shipping this trust out to the notary. If you as an agent would like to be at that notary and delivery so you can assist with helping fund the financial accounts, that would be a great idea for you to consider when the trust is being delivered, right, Troy?
Oh my gosh, Michelle, let's talk about that just a minute. So first off, yeah, the uniformity of all your trust makes it considerably easier for me. I know exactly what the client's going to get. I guess I'm what you might call a full cycle or full circle agent, if you will, because not only do I help them with the intake, I get everything over to you guys, let the attorney do his work. But when I get it back, I get the trust. I do the delivery myself. I went and got my notary. I was trained by you, Michelle, way back when, as to exactly what to point out, why to point it out, and how to go through the process. And the uniformity of your trust allows me to do that time after time after time. I'm not guessing or fiddling or fumbling my way through, because I know what each document is going to say and I know how it's going to progress through the entire estate plan. Now, let's talk about the delivery. Yeah, I do it all because I like to have that control. I like to have that additional touch point for my client. Even if you guys don't want to get your notaries and deliver the trust, great, I get it. But the one thing I can't recommend enough is be there. I don't care if you get your clients in your office, bring the notary in, let them sit in your chair, let them be the professional for an hour, hour and a half while they're doing the delivery and the notaries. But then you sit down and start talking about funding the trust. This is part of the discovery process for you. If you haven't or aren't already managing their assets or know what accounts they have, this is a prime time for you to go, hey, well, funding the trust is more than just a real estate, which AmeriEstate does for us. Let's talk about your bank accounts. Oh, you've got $200,000 in cash. Is that part of your emergency fund? Why so much? Oh, we've got these brokerage accounts. We've got these IRAs. Well, maybe we should or should not name the beneficiary of the trust. So this is prime time for you guys to shine as their advisor, discuss funding the trust, beneficiaries. And I'm not saying put the trust as a beneficiary on IRAs, but this is time for you to talk about that with your clients. Have those discussions. Maybe you're not managing all their assets. I've found a lot of assets just because they go, oh, well, that, we weren't worried about that one, but we haven't really touched it in a while. Well, let's check it out. So it's just an opportunity to check it out, see what's going on in their lives financially. That's a big deal. So whether you go to AmeriEstate and meet with the clients there, or you come, have the clients come to your office, or you go to their house, be there, show up, spend that hour and a half or 2 hours with the client. Again, it's building trust, building the relationship, and now it puts you in a position to look for additional opportunities. That would be the one thing I just couldn't stress enough. That's part of the process. It should be part of everybody's process.
Absolutely. That's such a good point to bring home, to let everybody know, to think outside the box and a little bit further about, yes, my clients are getting protected and they feel good about it, but there's some more at the end of that for you to talk, to bring it up and to talk about it and help guide your clients into some better investing, some better products. Get out of a bad product, put that cash that's sitting there into something that will make them money. So I think estate planning is just a key to unlocking possibilities in your practice where you can add more income. If you want to hire somebody to be a notary, you could pay them to do it. AmeriEstate would train them. Now, to bring up a point, that we have about 3 programs that business partners can participate in. It just depends on who you are and how you want to be involved. Some business partners just want to strictly refer their clients to AmeriEstate. So if you do, you would still get a referral fee. And sometimes business partners don't even want that. They just want their clients to be taken care of, have a good value, and somebody who's holding their hand. So one of our trust advisors will be taking that client, and we will assign you to a trust advisor that you would have a relationship with in here. So that's one way to do it. The other way is that you can actually be involved in taking a fact finder if you wanted. You don't even have to do that. All you need to do is sell it and have the clients sign 2 forms, send it in, and we'll take it from there. If you want to be a notary, you could do that part. You don't have to. We will help with the notary process and inform you. So you could be at that delivery if you choose to. You don't have to do any of these things at all. Troy is what's called a full circle business partner. He's been with us for a long time, so he does everything. He educates the client, takes the applications, gets it to AmeriEstate, sells it, and then we get the trust back to him and he delivers it. But you don't have to do that part. You don't have to do all of it. You can do some of it, a little bit, or nothing. You can just strictly refer and know that your clients are going to be well taken care of. So I think to let you all know, if after this webinar right now, if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to put them in the chat and we will get back to you after the webinar is over. And if you feel like you would like to explore working with AmeriEstate a little bit more, contact me, Michelle at AmeriEstate.com. That's 2 L's and an E, AmeriEstate.com, so we can discuss what program you would prefer to be on, or explore some other opportunities for you. And then we'll get you signed up for our business partner website, which has a plethora of marketing materials for you to use that are free to you to communicate with your clients. There's flyers on there. There's great information. There's a way for you to submit a referral if you'd like to do it that way. But we'll always just take a phone call or an email from you saying, hey, can you please call my client? They need to get an estate plan set up. So if you're interested, reach out to me. You can call me at 714-881-1363 or email me, Michelle@AmeriEstate.com. So that's kind of where we're heading. Is we wanted to get the word out. We wanted to invite Troy so you can get a firsthand experience of what one of our longtime advisors has been doing over the years and how it has greatly benefited him and his practice. So with that said, if you have any questions, feel free to put those into the Q&A, and we will, I could take a few of those if there's anything. Do I need to have a law degree or other certificate to add estate planning to my business? No, you do not. No degree is required because you're not acting as an attorney. You are simply taking an application and you're selling a AmeriEstate Legal Plan and getting the clients over to us, or you're just circularly referring them to us. And that's why we have attorneys. Every client speaks to an attorney. We are simply here to help educate and help clients understand the need for estate planning and why.
Yeah, and that's, a fine line that I try never to cross, right, Michelle, is when I'm having those discussions of delivery with clients. I've read enough, I've delivered enough trust. I kind of know the broad strokes, if you will. But if it ever comes back to a legal question or definition, I always give them back to the attorney because that's their job. That's why they're the experts. Let the attorney do that.
Right, right. Another question we have is their training. Let me answer that question. There's yes and no. We are working on some video training. Back in the day, we used to have a whole day set aside for people. They'd fly all over to come down and do our training. But just the way things are and lives are busy, we're looking to get our training online here shortly. But for now, we train you over the phone. So it's basically a phone call and a conversation with our business partner, John. He's our business development manager. John Knickerbocker will be the one to actually dig deep with you and help you get started on the processes. And then we're also going to have notary and delivery training. If you're interested in doing the delivery part, that's part of our training program coming up as well. Another question, what advice would Troy give for someone just starting out?
Oh my gosh, just do it. Just start. I mean, this should be, if you're an advisor, this should be part of every conversation with every client. And I shouldn't say every conversation, but every startup conversation. Part of the discovery process, I build this right into the beginning conversations I have with new clients. If they're existing clients, we've already talked about it. We'll revisit it every 3 to 5 years, but just do it. AmeriEstate makes it super simple. Use them as the experts, as your partner. Let them do the heavy lifting and just ask the questions. If you can't generate it organically in the conversation, that's fine. At the end of the conversation, hey, part of what I do as an advisor is I cover risk, right? Because that's what we should be doing. Life insurance, long-term care, risk planning. So, as part of your risk planning conversation, do you have a trust? Just keep it that simple. Great, you've got a trust. Let's review that sometime soon to be sure that it's still relevant, that it meets your needs today. If they don't have a trust, boy, that opens a door for you. So educate yourself enough that you can start building on that conversation. And it's really simple to do. Michelle, the team over there, will walk you through the process.
Perfect. Let's see, another question. Is there a cost involved to become a partner? No, not right now. But some, like Troy says, we recommend that you purchase a sample trust, which is $50 plus shipping. We'll ship it to you so you have something to show. And then if you want some applications and brochures, those are like $1.50 each. Right now, because we are going to be putting our training and everything on video, that's going to be free to you to learn more, to start working with us. And you're going to have marketing materials. They're already done for you in our business partner platform. So no, right now there's no cost to get started with AmeriEstate. And we do that because we are here. We want to support you and we want to see you bring some business to AmeriEstate. So that is what our goal is.
And guys, spend the $50. This, the 4 documents we know everybody should have: their trust, the wills, the power of attorney, the advanced healthcare directive. There's 12 tabs in here. When clients just see the bulk of this, they go, holy cow, that's mine. I get all that. This is a great visual. People are visual learners. That shows very, very well.
Right. One client, somebody said, I read that you provide office support. Please explain. I think somebody just wants to know how can AmeriEstate support you as an agent? And so I know that you've kind of touched on this already, but I know that you might be sitting with a client and you have a question about a deed, and you'll pick up the phone and give us a call, and you'll be able to get that question answered pretty quick so the client can move on to the next step, because your goal is to get their estate plan done. But sometimes they have these roadblocks and they have excuses why they can't start right now. So I'm thinking having AmeriEstate as your back office support, where you don't have to pay us. We're here to support you. You have questions about estate planning or probate, or somebody's incapacitated, or what do I do about this? You can pick up the phone and you have a free support hotline. I think that has helped you a lot, right, Troy?
Oh my gosh. And I said earlier, I lean on you guys a lot because you're the experts. This isn't, I know a lot about this, but this isn't my expertise, the legal part of this. So yeah, I pick up the phone. If it's not overly urgent, I shoot an email off. I've come by your offices more time than I can count to have discussions. Yeah, incredibly valuable. And this is what they do. They don't do, all this other litigation and legal work and auto accidents and ambulance chasers. They do estate planning. This is their expertise. So they're there. I've had clients call me, hey, dad's in the hospital. They just put him on hospice. We need to make some changes. And you guys have helped us get it done in less than a week. So yeah, they are there for you guys. Use AmeriEstate to the fullest extent. You'll be grateful for it.
Thank you, Troy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we have any more questions, but again, if anybody has any further questions, feel free to give me a call or send me an email. I'll be happy to meet you and talk to you and just explain a little bit more and help you possibly get started working with AmeriEstate. One more thing I wanted to let you know in a closing statement is AmeriEstate has started another company. It's called Reef Point USA, and we specialize in the deferred sales trust. So if you have any clients that are looking to offload or sell highly appreciated assets, it could be anything from property, Bitcoin, jewelry, stocks, whatever it is, and there's going to be hit with at least a $250,000 capital gain, give us a call. Let us talk to you about deferring those capital gains and putting those into a deferred sales trust. So just know that that's available, and that is a very, very popular thing right now. Our phones are ringing off the hook across the country. We can do this across the country, and it's not specific to any state. So if you have anybody in that situation and they're not looking to maybe do a 1031, they just want to get out and enjoy their life, or it's not a good time to buy something else, there's no property available, let's talk about a deferred sales trust for your clients and the opportunities there. So with that said, I appreciate everybody who showed up today to learn a little bit more about how to include estate planning in your practice, how simple it is to ask that question, and how to get started with AmeriEstate. And thank you so much, Troy, for being our guest speaker today. I really appreciate it.
You are most welcome for having me. I appreciate the time, Michelle. And guys, yeah, back to the DST. They're constantly doing webinars on this. So you may not have a client today, but all it takes is a bit of a whiff of a capital gain issue. So jump on one of those webinars, educate yourself. You never know when that opportunity is going to come along.
All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Michelle.
Bye-bye.